A Hearst man says he spent $10,000 on a truck and he's got the clean title to prove it. But a Fort Worth judge just had the vehicle seized. Fox 4 consumer reporter Steve Noviello's on your side tonight with a long and winding road tale.
So these 2x6s on top.
I'd love to show you the truck Blake Headley bought for his fence building business.
It was a 2009 Ford F-250.
But after this cash sale, getting this clean title, and investing another $2,500 in upgrades, this picture is all he has left.
So you're out how much money?
Almost $10,000.
And the road to get from sold to stuck has more bumps than a drive through Dallas after a spring storm.
Bought it off of an individual out of Haltom City.
In September of 2020, Blake bought his truck.
No liens, clean blue title.
From Donnie Denman, who bought it from a police auction almost a year prior. Here is the sales receipt. The truck was registered with the state.
Once it's sold at auction by a law enforcement agency, it's free and clear of all liens and titles.
Take a look. Here's the new title. It shows Don Denman as the first owner and then also records when it was sold to Blake. Per Texas law, when an abandoned vehicle is sold at police auction, the new owner takes title free and clear of all liens and claims of ownership. Nevertheless, 2.5 years after that police auction, Blake was pulled over in his truck. The officer,
he said, well, this truck's showing up stolen out of Fort Worth. I was like, that's impossible. I have a title to it.
Blake's truck was impounded. He was left on the side of the road, and just wait until you hear where that truck is now.
So what do you do?
I don't know. That's why we contacted you.
We sat down with Fort Worth police.
Was it a mistake made? We believe that there was a mistake made.
Here's what Blake didn't know. Before he bought the truck, before it was sold at police auction, back in 2018, it was taken from this car lot on a test drive and never returned. Here's the police report. The vehicle is listed as missing, but it wasn't entered into the system as such since the keys were voluntarily provided for the test drive.
Should have been changed to a stolen vehicle within in the system because he never returned the vehicle.
The truck was recovered 2 days later by Haltom City Police. Here's that report. But because it would take Fort Worth Police 5 more months to enter it as stolen, it came up clean and simply got impounded here to AA Wrecker Service. Lisa Truitt was in charge of tracking down the owner, a job she's done successfully for decades.
Did the car dealership show up with any interest at all as a lien holder?
There was no information about the dealership in the system.
So there was no way for you to know?
No possible way.
That there was a connection here?
No possible way to know that it was in a dealer's possession.
She says that's because the dealership didn't register their ownership interest. She recalls searching through state records and notifying by certified mail anyone who had been listed as an owner. No one came forward. Roughly 90 days later, the truck is declared abandoned and sold at auction.
So when an auction sales receipt is issued, it supersedes any pre-existing title or lien.
But remember, months after that auction, in spite of a new clean title, Fort Worth PD finally enters it into the system as stolen.
Is that a common occurrence for you guys?
Not common, no.
When it does happen, is there a particular agency with which it usually happens?
We've only had one agency that it's been an issue with.
And who's that?
Fort Worth.
Unrelated to our story, Fort Worth PD has since changed their policy. All vehicles missing, stolen, or used without permission are now added to a database the same day they're reported.
Is there a rule these days for what that turnaround should look like?
A stolen vehicle is entered in that day.
Even if it's unauthorized use of a motor vehicle?
We're going to put it in that day.
Back to Blake.
Every precaution you could have taken buying a vehicle, I did.
Who was last left on the side of the road for driving a stolen vehicle. His impounded truck is now the subject of a property hearing. The judge has ordered it returned. Not to Blake or to Don Denman, who he bought it from, but to the car lot 3 owners ago, the one that never came forward. The order reads, quote, the vehicle was not Haltom City's to sell to Denman, nor Denman's to sell to Blake Headley.
Is that accurate?
No.
How come?
Because once notifications have been sent and no one comes forward to claim the vehicle, an auction sales receipt is issued, and that auction sales receipt supersedes any pre-existing title or lien.
Blake has filed an appeal.
I know I'm out $10,000 and have no answers whatsoever. or truck.
We asked the owner of the car lot if he had any insurance to cover the truck when it was stolen. He didn't. He says he plans to bring it to auction to sell it. If that happens and Blake wins his appeal, he will be awarded fair market value. So what happens if he doesn't win? Don Denman, the guy who sold him the truck, says somebody's got to step up and do the right thing here. He has offered to refund Blake the $7,500 he paid him. We will keep you posted. I'm Steve Noviello, Fox 4 News.